Hi guys, I'm Cody Jay and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm excited to be bringing you a full review and tutorial of the new Morphe X Nikita Dragun Eyeshadow palette as well as the 7-piece brush set. So if you guys would like to see how I create this beautiful, flawless look, keep on watching. Okay guys, obviously my base is done. I just want to talk about the new palette and the brush set real quick before I do my eye look for you guys. So I picked this up from Ulta today. This is, again, obviously, as you just saw, the Morphe X Nikita Dragun palette. Just this alone is stunning to me. Like, it's so futuristic, like, I don't know, like Harajuku. Oh, I'm just obsessed. Oh my gosh. As soon as I saw this, I was sold. This is absolutely stunning. Look how beautiful. Like, this is one of the most beautiful palette covers I've ever seen. It's just, oh, it's so beautiful. Ooh, oh, excuse me, a little plastic film. So here she is. This is actually the first time I'm opening it as well. So we're gonna enjoy this moment together. Oh, this palette is everything. Obviously, the top two rows are very wearable, very neutral. You could definitely do fall, everyday looks. The bottom two are very colorful, right up my alley. Obviously, there's some colorful ones in the middle. Now, this middle shade is called Metamorphosis, and I'm so excited to see what this does. Down here, we have some pressed glitter. It's called Matrix. Like, absolutely stunning. I'm not a huge pressed glitter fan because it kind of gets all over me and I just hate it for the next 3 days, but full fantasy, this little shimmer down here is stunning. Overall, I'm so stoked. The Morphe X Nikita palette is $30 and it has 35 gorgeous shades in it. And the brush set was $20, I believe. Now, I don't want to I always ruin packaging when I open things and I hate that. Okay, this came out pretty well. So how many brushes are in here? They look like this. Let me just open the package. They're obviously going to be pretty standard Morphe brushes, which I love very, very much. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There is 7 brushes in here. They are black, green, and purple, which, hello, obsessed. And they match the palette because why wouldn't they? But we have some blending brushes in here. We have a good eyebrow brush with a spoolie. So we have a nice little packing brush here. Definitely enough brushes to do a complete full eye look, so definitely gonna be using these with the palette. So now that I went over the little nitty gritty details real quick with this palette and the brush set, I'm gonna go off camera real quick, do one eye, and come back and walk you guys through my eye look. BRB. Okay guys, I'm back. This is the look. I didn't want to do anything too crazy just because 1, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired, and 2, because I don't want to mess it all up by trying to be all crazy creative. But I wanted to do colors that obviously kind of match the whole vibe and the color scheme of the palette. So I have obviously some purple and pink blended out. I have the Metamorphosis bluish green casted purple shade, whatever you want to call it, on the lid, and it's blended in with some a bit darker on the outer V. I have some purple and blue underneath my lash line. I have green ColourPop Cream Gel Liner on my waterline and a little pop of green in the inner corner because, duh. So, I'm going to quickly walk you guys through this. This is a very easily replicatable, big words for 6 o'clock in the morning, easily replicatable, yeah, look. So, let's just get started. Now, first and foremost, I definitely have a lot of thoughts. A lot of things surprised me. A lot of things I want to let y'all know about, but first I'm going in with the shade Mama Dragon, which is not that one, it's this one, the dark purple. Every time I have my finger on the shade, when I go to flip it to the camera, it moves. Just saying, not my fault. So we're going with Mama Dragon with one of the Morphe and Nikita brushes, of course. Now, one of the concerns I have for this purple in particular is it's not super pigmented right off the bat, and I am using a small brush. I definitely had to work with the purple shades a lot as far as building them up to get the intensity that I wanted. And then when I blended them out, I lost a lot of that core pigment. Now, it's kind of common knowledge that when it comes to purples, it's pretty hard to formulate the perfect purple. Either it's really, really vibrant, intense, whatever you want to call it, and then it loses its pigment really quick, or it's not super intense, but the color is pretty much true to color. So this purple is kind of in the middle for me because it's not super, super intense, but it's not super pale either. But it is very buildable, but it also does lose some of its core pigment when you blend it out. But other than that, I don't have a lot of issues, and it does blend easily. So with that same brush, I'm just going to take whatever product is left on the brush and blend out my edges real quick. Just go with circular motions, little scratching back and forth motions, just to make sure the outer edge is softened up. So as you can see, once we blend it out, we definitely lose some of the intensity of the purple. So then I just go back in and stamp in the purple just to deepen it up again. It's not a big deal at all. It just takes an extra step, but the shadows feel really, really nice. They blend easily. They blend out very easily. And just like that, you can build the purple back up in the middle, right exactly where you wanted it. And then again, just one Quick last time, I'll go back around the edges to blend them again, but yeah, it just takes an extra step, but not a big deal. All right, next I'm gonna take the slightly larger blending brush and I'm gonna dip into a little bit of ABG, which is the pink purple right beside it. Why does it do that? I swear I point to it when I pick it up. This one right here. And we're gonna use this to use kind of our transition shade and just blend out the purple a little bit more and give it more of that gradient blended effect. But do you see how easily it blends right in? Like literally no issue at all. It takes a half a second, it blends right together. No harsh lines because you know we don't do that on this channel, or what? At least we try not to. So I love that. And then again, me being me, you lose a little bit of the intensity of the purple in the middle when you're blending it together. So I go back in with that first brush with the first purple shade called Mama Dragon. And one last time, I'm going to kind of build up the intensity just because I want that contrast and the blend at the same time. But again, so it's just like one extra step, maybe two, I guess if you want to say that, but they blend super easily. Like the blending that I just did took no time at all. And then me being a perfectionist, I just want to go over it one last time. Alrighty, next I'm going to quickly cut my crease with my P. Louise base, and that is what both eyelids are primed with as usual. I'm just going to still take a Morphe brush. This is not from the collection because there's not a brush in there that would work for me for cutting my crease. Alrighty, now that our crease is cut, we're going to go in with the shade Metamorphosis. Now, this is the main shade that I kind of have an issue with. I wouldn't say an issue, I just had high expectations for this shade. And let me just swatch it for you with my finger. So this is what it looks like, just swatched. It's not anything crazy like I thought it would be. How about you focus? Thank you. It's nothing crazy, it's just kind of like just a blue-purple shift. Like, it's really, really pretty, but I don't know. Yeah, I almost just broke my mirror. It probably did break. But it's definitely not as intense or crazy as I thought it would be, but it still is a beautiful shade, so I just pretty much put a shimmer all over, is what you're doing, but let me wipe this off and like start putting it on. Now actually before, I kind of forgot because it's super early, before I apply Metamorphosis, I kind of use it as a topper. I'm using the shade, I know I'm saying it wrong, but it looks like Resingen. Tell me if you know what it is, but this blue one right here. So I'm just going to apply that all over the lid with this smaller flat brush. And this is one of those shades where it's not a crazy amount of fallout. It definitely kicks up in the pan a lot, but it's not super insane. But if you are worried about it, then I would recommend doing your eyes first. For me, the little fallout I did have on my face, I was able to just brush away. So not a deal breaker for me, but it is a really pretty blue shade. Alright, so the blue's on, looks like that. There is some very slight patchiness. If you look, if it zooms in, I don't know if you can tell, there's definitely some fallout. So I just take a little brush like this and I just flick it away. I try not to like press into my skin too much, but I just flick it away and it goes away. So it's not a deal breaker for me, it's not a huge deal, but I definitely have just a tiny little dot here and there. And then I just go over with my sponge and it goes away, but I prefer not to have any fallout, of course, but that one has a little bit in it, but nothing too crazy, but just enough for you to kind of like maybe be slightly annoyed, but still a beautiful, beautiful shadow. So now is when we're gonna go in with Metamorphosis, and like I said, this is pretty much just like a topper for me. It's nothing crazy, but it just gives a nice shine, and obviously it picks up some reflex with the light. So I'm just going to apply this all over. I am still using a Morphe brush. This is the M166 brush. There's a smaller version of this in the Morphe Nikita brush set. It's just, I didn't want to take an hour and a half to apply this. Essentially, there's a lot of space to cover. So with this, again, there's a little bit of fallout, just flick it away. There are some shadows where the fallout is just too, wow, there's been a hair there the whole time, where the shadows are just too pigmented, too thick, and it's just sticks to your face. When you try to flick it away, it just stains your face. These are very, very thin, very light, so they just whisk away, which is kind of perfect for me. So once we have that done, I'm going to go in with a little bit of, I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to go in with a bit of Mama Dragon again, which is the dark purple right there. So when I do cut creases, I like to blend in a darker color on the outer V with the two colors I already have, just because it, I don't know, it kind of meshes it together nicely and it doesn't just look like cut crease and then like my other shadows. I don't know, I just like them to be blended a little bit while still maintaining that shape. It's just my personal preference. So I'm taking a little bit of Mama Dragon and Nasty, which is the dark black. See, it just, I don't know, it just does something for me, I guess. It just, I don't know, brings it together. And I like the cohesion. All right, once I have all of this kind of situated, I'm going to take my T14 brush from Makeup Shack. Again, there's not one small enough in this little collection, which is fine. Obviously, there's not going to be every brush in the world. I'm going to take a bit of Mama Dragon again, which is the dark purple, and I'm going to run it along my lower lash line just to make it, again, cohesive. That's like the word of the day. I'm going to take it all the way over to my inner corner, up into my outer V. I'm just going to wipe that off and dip into that Russingen, whatever it is, blue. Blend that in. It just is a nice little blend, and I just live for that moment, I guess. So now we're going to put on some liner. I'm using the NYX Epic Ink Liner. I really, really, really love this a lot, especially because y'all know I don't love eyeliner. I don't love doing it, but I love the way it looks. I'm sure we all can relate to that. I'm getting faster and better and more precise at it the more I do it, which is obviously the point of practicing, but it used to take me like 3 minutes. All right, once you have that done, we're gonna take our ColourPop Cream Gel Liner, which you all should know that. I shouldn't even have to say it anymore. And I'm actually gonna use this little mirror because I need a finger, and we are gonna throw on some green. I was like, what's gonna be the best color? Because you know I always do a color on my waterline. I was like, what's gonna be the best color? And I was like, well, what's the most contrasting? Green. And I want some green, because the only green I got to use is in my inner corner. And obviously green goes very well with these colors. So next I'm throwing on some Maybelline mascara. Just give a little run through real quick. Okay, for lashes, I'm using the J Sky Beauty lashes in the style Iris. I am currently obsessed with these. They just fit my eye very, very well. Alrighty, now that this eye's just about finished, I'm going to take 2 last shades from this palette. I'm going to take a little pencil brush, but it ran away from me. Here it is. I'm going to take the shade She Go, which is this stunning green, which is what I wanted to use the most. But I just feel like I should just use this as an inner corner little moment because y'all know I live for an inner corner. So I'm going to put a nice bit of green right here. And then I'm going to wipe that off, and then I'm going to dip into NYX, which is this shiny kind of silver champagne shimmer. And I'm going to put that on top of the green just to give it a little pop. Just a little sparkle inside of it, you know. Touch this one up a little bit. And I think that pretty much is it. Just kidding, it is it. So let me throw on the lip real quick and I will give you my final thoughts. Alrighty guys, I threw on my Family Jewels liquid lipstick from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I'm gonna give my face one last setting spray and mist from Urban Decay. This is the All Nighter. I almost sprayed it on my monitor because I'm a professional. Nothing in my teeth, cool. Let's give our final thoughts. So, the Morphe X Nikita palette, stunning packaging inside and out. It has a 12-month after opening period. There are 35 beautiful shades. There's a huge variety, definitely a lot of colors, definitely a lot of very, what word do I want to use? I don't know. They just go together really well. Definitely a lot of fall, very neutral, very wearable colors. You have a lot of shimmers. You have a pressed glitter if you like it. I personally do not. The fallout in the pan is a bit much. It's nothing crazy, but it's a bit much. So it also falls out on the eyes a smidgen, so if that's something that worries you, then I would recommend doing your eyes first so you can clean it up, no problem, and then do the rest of your makeup. For me, I had a little bit of fallout, but it was light enough that I could just sweep it away with a brush, so for me, that's not really an issue. This palette retails for $30, which I don't think is bad whatsoever. It's an influencer collab. It's very, very good. The shades that I used were both buildable and easily blendable, so I like that. Now, the brush collection was $20, and you get 7 brushes. You have a lot of different types of brushes to choose from. Definitely could do an entire eyeshadow look with this. I have just very specific things that I want out of certain brushes, so even though I can do it with all these brushes, I just chose not to because I just didn't want to. Other than that, I think overall this collection is really nice. It's really beautiful. I think the shadows were very thought out as far as the color story. I am very happy overall. Again, don't think the price is bad whatsoever. So for me, the Morphe X Nikita palette and brushes are definitely a hit. I would definitely recommend you trying it out if you have not already. If you have, I would love to know your thoughts on it as well. But again, this is the final look, all complete. I definitely hope you enjoy it. I would love to see some people recreate this and tag me. It's very easy to do. Now, I will be doing a separate mini swatch video. I've been starting to do a lot of those on my channel. So I will actually be uploading that tomorrow just because I want to. Like, I know it's gonna be 2 upload days back to back, but it's literally gonna be like a 2-minute video max. So check that out if you wanna see all of these shadows swatched, all 35 of them. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you loved the look. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up down below. Click that big red subscribe button so you can join my YouTube family. Turn on my YouTube video post notifications by clicking that bell icon and switching it to all. And I thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Breathe fire, my dragons.